Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig through the documents so you don't have to. Today we are talking about Bogota Financial. Bogota Financial, not to be confused with the city in Colombia, is a bank holding company, meaning they own a bank, and like most banks, they are required to make filings to the Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC. You may be thinking, oh great, another bank filing, but just wait until we dive into the details. There are a few things that are quite interesting, so let's dive into this filing. This is a proxy statement, which is basically a document that a company sends to its shareholders before an annual meeting. It tells shareholders what's on the agenda so they can make informed decisions when they vote on important matters. Bogota Financial's annual meeting is coming up in May, so let's see what's on the ballot. There are a few items up for a vote this year. First, they need to elect 2 directors to the board. Directors are like the supervisors of the company, making sure management is doing a good job. Second, shareholders get to vote on whether to approve or ratify the company's choice of accounting firm. The accounting firm is like an external auditor, checking the bank's financial statements to make sure everything is accurate. The board is made up of 6 members, except for Kevin Pace, who is the president and CEO of the bank. All other directors and the director nominee are considered independent. An independent director is someone who doesn't have any close ties to the company's management and can provide an unbiased view. The board has several committees that focus on specific areas. There's the audit committee, which oversees financial reporting. There's the compensation committee, which sets pay for executives. And there's the governance and nominating committee, which finds and recommends people to serve as directors. The audit committee plays a key role. They basically make sure that the bank's financial statements are accurate and that the accounting firm is doing its job properly. They review the financial statements with management and the accounting firm, and they also discuss the accounting firm's independence from the bank. Let's take a quick peek at what the directors get paid. Remember, this section only includes non-employee directors, so not the CEO. Stephen Goldberg made close to $100,000 in fees, while John Masterson made close to $80,000 in fees. In addition, Stephen Goldberg received around $21,000 in compensation, while John Masterson received around $28,000 in fees. In addition, Stephen Goldberg received around $21,000 in compensation, while John Masterson received around $28,000 in fees. In addition, Stephen Goldberg received around $21,000 in compensation, while John Masterson received around $28,000. This is mostly for the cost of their medical insurance. Keep in mind the CEO does not receive any compensation for his service as a director. Now let's look at who owns the bank. Bogota Financial MHC owns over 8.5 million shares, which is 65.35% of the company's stock. This means they have a controlling interest and their vote is going to carry a lot of weight in those shareholder votes we talked about at the start. There are 2 director nominees up for election this year, William Hanson and John Reiner. Both of them already serve as directors of Bogota Financial MHC and Bogota Savings Bank. The board is recommending that shareholders vote in favor of electing them. The audit fees for the year totaled about $158,000, which is a bit higher than the $109,000 from the previous year. Not a huge change, but something to note. Now, for what everyone is really interested in, the executive compensation. Kevin Pace, the president and CEO, made $607 in 2024. Brian McCourt, the executive vice president and CFO, made $373,448 and $23,448 and $483,901.14. Most of the compensation is made up of their base salary. Mr. Pace has an employment agreement with the bank that has a 2-year term, which extends automatically each January 1. The agreement also lays out what happens if he leaves the company or if there's a change in control. If Mr. Pace is terminated without cause, which means without a specific good reason, or if he resigns for good reason, the bank will pay him a cash severance payment equal to 2 times the sum of his annual base salary and the average annual cash bonus earned for the 2 most specific good reason. Or if he resigns for good reason, the bank will pay him a cash severance payment equal to 2 times the sum of his annual base salary and the average annual cash bonus earned for the 2 most recent performance periods prior to the change in control, and then there is annual cash bonus earned for the 2 most recent performance periods prior to the change in control of the bank. Basically, if the bank is sold or acquired, Mr. Pace will get even more. He would get a severance payment equal to 2 times the sum of his annual base salary and the average annual cash bonus earned for the 2 most recent performance periods prior to the change in control. Bogota Financial has a practice of not granting stock options to executive officers during closed quarterly trading windows. This is to prevent insider trading, which is when someone uses non-public information to make a profit. Federal regulations permit executive officers and directors to receive loans from federally insured financial institutions, like Bogota Savings Bank, as long as they are on the same terms as other employees. If you want to submit a proposal to be included in next year's proxy statement, you need to get it in by December 16, 2025. So what is the takeaway here? Well, Bogota Financial is a pretty standard community bank. They are profitable, they are well run, and they are following all the rules. While they are profitable, they are under the umbrella of Bogota Financial MHC, which kind of shields them from public shareholders being able to make big changes. The executive compensation seems appropriate for a bank of its size, and while not extremely flashy, is in line with the rest of the company. Top thanks for watching Corporate Decoder. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.